10 o'clock on the dot. Good evening and welcome to the news at 10, brought to you by Swatan Television. I'm Sani Boyngwane. I'm with Noma Kabiso Ngambola. It's a pleasure and thank you so much for choosing to stay with us. We begin here. First, your headlines tonight. The Minister of Education, the Honorable Owen Nxumalo, has revealed that the government is working diligently to repair schools damaged by recent flash floods. The Ministry of Tourism has held a meeting to discuss appropriate standards to be implemented in the nuclear radiation bill. And the Minister for Tinkula Skhumbuzo Dlamini has officially handed over a trailer, a Ton Reaper, a 20-disc harrow and a TLP worth over 3.5 million in Malangeni at Mhlume constituency to 3 different organizations. Good evening. The news in detail will begin here. Our first story, the Minister of Education, the Honorable Owen Nxumalo, has revealed that the government is working diligently to repair schools damaged by the recent flash floods. The Minister says that the micro-projects unit will award reconstruction tenders to community members living in the areas where the schools are located. Now, the Minister made these remarks during a visit to Luzita and Punya primary schools.
Punya Primary School is one of our 42 schools that suffered significant damage, including roofs being blown off by strong winds. The Minister of Education, Honorable Owen Nxumalo, together with a delegation from the ministry, visited Luzita and Punya Primary Schools to assess the extent of the damage. The minister assured that necessary materials will be delivered to ensure that the schools are repaired.
Funa sibuye nema-solutions. Umhlonishwa nje ngiyamvumela. Lokuthi nyalo akungabi kusuku lokureacta kwempelana. Kufuna nyalo egwebo mbaka planning nini. Kufuna ni advice.
The minister highlighted the lack of maintenance in many schools, attributing it to the introduction of free primary education, which means parents no longer fund maintenance. The minister further revealed that the micro-project unit will engage local businesses to carry out repairs in their respective communities. Punya Primary School head teacher Bonginkosi Dlamini says some of the school buildings are dilapidated state and require urgent maintenance. The school's committee's chairperson, Makhosini Mlotha, says that this is the first time they are experiencing such damage. Mlotha says schools' books and food supplies were affected as some items were discarded. Mhlambanyati, Member of Parliament Mxolisi Dlamini, says that the school accommodates pupils from 3 different chiefdoms, making it a critical school for the area. The minister also commended the micro-project unit for its role in assisting the Ministry of Education with school repairs. The minister says that the unit has previously helped fix damaged schools using funds amounting to 38 million in Malangeni, which is already included in the supplementary budget. Beswatini TV News, Sondo Mlangeni with Sethabile Mamba, Punya.
The Ministry of Tourism has held a meeting to discuss appropriate standards to be implemented in the nuclear radiation bill. The Honourable Minister Jane Smelane says this is their way of planning ahead as the bill is still processed at Parliament.
The regulations, they spell out the standards. If you want to construct whatever facility that will be dealing with the radiation and nuclear, we need standards. We need standards, especially on importing equipment. We need standards on the admission of medication to patients. We also need standards in whatever we do, whether it's research or whatever. We need standards. So we are working with the team to come up with the guidelines and regulations. On top of that, there are so many sectors that are implicated in they work on the nuclear and radiation bill. The issue of construction, the issue of aviation, health, the Ministry of Health, mining, even the university itself, schools, they undertake research. So they use technology to undertake this research, and including the Ministry of Agriculture. So when they apply the technology, they should know, they should be aware of the health hazards of those technologies. They should be taught. So from here, we are also going to launch a national campaign, especially on awareness raising on the issues of safety when using nuclear and radiation. We've also trained the media personnel, especially those in government, so that they come up with the content on relevant sectors for awareness raising.
The Minister for Tingundla, Skhumbuzo Dlamini, has officially handed over a trailer, ton reaper, 20-disc harrow and a TLB worth over 3.5 million Malangeni at Mhlume constituency to 3 different organizations. All these were bought through the Regional Development Fund.
The Ministry of Tingundla, through the Regional Development Fund, continues to be a flagship of success in spearheading governmental programs focused on rural development and poverty reduction, with emphasis on income-generating projects.
Timisele nitikhandle nihloniphe lo mthethosisekelo endibekele wona inhlonipho ukubambisana enhlanganweni ngolokusilethela siyanidlulisela kakhulu bekunene lokuthi senisitakele leli tsazuza kulesikhwama se-Regional Development Fund imali lephose ibe nganga 3.5 million emalangeni lekungasiwe imali encane kakhulu sike asibonge yena uhulumende wembube lokuthi abesolo leti imali atifaka njalo induna ka finance lesibambise kakhulu ekutheni nasikhala sicela timali ivele kokuqala yente njalo.
Impilo Yethu Sonke Investment, Buyagithi and Sambulelo Investment extended their gratitude towards the ministry for the RDF fund.
Asiqhubeke side eTingundleni tiyasitana siyabonga kakhulu uhulumende weNgwenyama ngalendlela la sifukula ngayo ukuthi nathi kube khona sibomake sihlete emakhaya lesikubekako etafuleni.
Batisabeketela nisabona lembala ndawuthi ithelo lekubeketela
bathuthukise lo nabo bonke nje labasebenzayo basethwele kakhulu singota kithi sisazama ufaka ticelo basimema saze sawufika ekugcineni.
Mhlume Member of Parliament Sfiso Makakula says these equipment must be well taken care of.
Inhloso yalokhu bekuthi kuqedza kuphuya kuphinze sithole nemathuba emsebenzi.
The ministry encourages the Maswati, particularly the youth and people living with disabilities, to take advantage of the Regional Development Fund. Reporting, I am Tembelihle Makuchwa at Mhlume.
The recent rains have left many roads around the country badly damaged, cutting businesses, especially small and medium enterprises, from markets. With the Ministry of Finance working with the different ministries to prepare the budget these days, we asked the Minister for Finance if we can expect to see an increase in the budget for roads this year.
Road infrastructure is crucial for businesses as it facilitates the movement of goods and services, reducing transportation costs and improving efficiency. With Eswatini experiencing rains, roads have been badly damaged, and small and medium enterprises business federations say their members have been severely affected.
The heavy rains experienced make it very cumbersome to adequately stock, as some of the stock may be damaged in due course. There is also the issue of road failures, which also makes it difficult to move from one point to another.
With regards to retailers, they are unable to do their stocking, and also their customers, they are not getting enough customers because of the restricted movements. With regards to the farmers, you find that the fields are wet and the crops are destroyed, easily destroyed, especially the ones that are sensitive to lots of water.
The Minister for Finance, Honorable Neil Rickenberg, says the budget for roads will be improved.
We definitely will do what we can to push more funding towards this. At the same time, we do have pockets of emergency funding and where the emergency is, the funding needs to flow towards. And so even, in last week's cabinet meeting, we were having discussions on how much of NDMA funding could we move towards roads, and there's a lot of activity taking place in that space.
In the year 2024-2025, the Ministry of Finance announced a provision of 390 million emalangeni for road maintenance and major rehabilitation in the budget. According to the Disaster Management Agency, by the 9th, over 300 people had been affected by the rains and floods.
For Eswatini TV News, Nelson Dlangamandla, Vuminkosi Nzinisa, Mbabane.
About 240 million emalangeni has been disbursed under the small-scale loan guarantee scheme since its establishment over 20 years ago. The scheme under the central bank provides a guarantee to cover a portion of the loan in case the business doesn't meet the certain conditions. The director of the Small and Medium Enterprise Unit, Mluleki Dlamini, shared this information when highlighting some of the initiatives they will engage in to vigorously grow the small and medium enterprises sector.
In terms of access to finance, we'll be continuing as we have a new product in the market. It's a microfinance fund that is basically funded by the Taiwan embassy in the country at the tune of 80 million. And currently we've disbursed about 8.4 million, which we have reached 141 entrepreneurs. We will continue to market and also encourage businesses to use our small-scale enterprise loan guarantee scheme, which at the moment we've already guaranteed up to 240 million loans. This year, our focus will be mainly on leather development, as we have started the leather skin and hides pilot project with the Eswatini Meat Industries. Currently, the skins that are produced in the country were not stamped to be traceable, that they originate in the country. So it is one project that we have started off this year, and we are hoping that all these hides and skins that will be traded globally will be in a position to have that mark that they originate from Eswatini, so that we know in terms of their quality and the standards. And also another one is the Ingelo certification mark that we launched last year, which basically speaks to certification of locally produced products with a mark that will be coming from SWASA.
Right, with that, we segue into the world of business, where we take a look at financial indicators to get a sense of our markets further today in the Up Next Financial Report.
Standard Bank.
Without any further ado, we take a look at the Up Next sugar indicators and see how our markets are faring today as well. Kabaka is still tuned into Eswatini Television. This is the news at 10. Thank you so much for staying with us. We move on with the news. 4 cases of drowning in various locations across the country have been reported to the Royal Eswatini Police Service in the wake of recent flash floods. Chief Police Information and Communications Officer Senior Superintendent Pindile Flagate has issued a stern warning advising the public to refrain from attempting to cross swollen rivers, whether on foot or in vehicles. Incidents of such dangerous crossings have been documented in various parts of the country through social media.
Imvula ichubekile cishe even lonke la kaNgwane lokwenta kutsi imfula yethu igcwale leyo lemikhulu nalemncane kuletinye tindzawo ke kucaleke netihosha lebetite manti setibonakala tinemanti singachubeka nje sisixwayise sive kutsi.
We have observed that the rains continue to pour heavily, and in some parts of the country, rivers are overflowing and filled to the brim. We want to strongly warn the public against attempting to cross 4 rivers, particularly with vehicles, as this poses a serious danger. On Sunday in Sitfogodvo, there was an incident where an individual attempted to cross an overflowing river in a car carrying passengers and pigs. Unfortunately, the car was swept into the river. We are grateful to the brave individuals who were present and managed to rescue the passengers. We also urge the nation to ensure that children are closely supervised and that water containers are properly covered to prevent accidents. This comes after a tragic incident where a child drowned. Let us all take extra precautions to safeguard lives during this rainy season.
The water levels in dams and rivers in the country are rising due to rains received in recent days. The Ministry of Natural Resources and Energy says if the rains persist, some of the dams will reach full capacity soon.
The water levels in dams and rivers across the country are showing significant rise following the recent rains. This development brings much needed relief to the nation following water scarcity concerns. The Ministry of Natural Resources and Energy has confirmed that the current rainfall has positively impacted the country's water reserves.
It's very important that whenever now you are approaching these rivers, we need to be very, very careful. As you might be aware that most dams upstream of the country are full and are also spilling. It is very important that people who are crossing these rivers are able to cross with caution and ensure that they cross where it is very safe. The ministry will, from time to time, inform the public if, let's say, there will be some developments that will occur or that will happen in those rivers. If, let's say, in some of the dams, there'll be need to manually open some of the valves just to ensure the safety of the infrastructure and the likes, the public will be informed about that.
In December of 2024, the situation was dire, with dam levels critically low, primarily attributed to the heat wave recorded during that time. On Monday, the ministry reports that Makuka stands at 98.94%, Njoli at 81.08%, Lubovane at 99.56%, Lupotlo 100%, and Hawane 100% overflowing. Now, with the rains continuing, there is optimism that water levels will recover fully. The ministry warns, however, that the possibility of some dams reaching capacity soon could lead to controlled releases to manage overflow and prevent flooding in downstream areas. Reporting, I am Notile Sitolo with Bongani Masugu, Sipokosini.
The number of students who were supposed to sit for their first semester examination starting on Monday at the University of Eswatini was not to the expected number. This was revealed by the Chief Electoral Officer Sbuso Kwebu when speaking to Eswatini Television. Kwebu says they have not certified the cause of this.
The number of students expected to sit for UNESCO Gwaliseni examinations was not what was expected, as there were a few students in examination stations. Chief Electoral Officer says this could be because students are stuck at remote areas because of flooding rivers, or they misunderstood a memo that was directed to Liengo campus students, which postponed the examination date. The Chief Electoral Officer Busiso Kwebu says Those who were registered and expected to write the exams did not come at their full capacity, so they are expecting reports giving reasons for this. Acting Registrar Richard Masugu says the university has laws that allow students to write exams if they missed the official ones.
Exam kuba khona lokuthi uma ngabe umfundi.
The acting registrar Richard Masugu says the examination rules allow students to write the reasons why they missed the examination, and this will therefore be reviewed. On another note, after the university opened on the 6th of January 2025, some students reported to have missed the registration period for 2024-2025. The students on Friday wrote a letter to request the Senate to open the admission process, which was later declined. The acting registrar Richard Masugu says a place without proper rules becomes a zoo, and they want the university to work by the book, and this is not a way of fighting. CEO Sibusiso Kwebu says students who were unable to register will have to wait a year to resume their studies. Reporting for Eswatini TV News, I am Satabile Mamba, together with Sondom Langeni at Kwaluseni.
Welcome back in our sports news. The last 32 draw of this year's Ingonyama Cup has been conducted, with the tournament to kick off this coming weekend, where the champions will walk away with 1.4 million Malangeni. The draw was held at Singapetelo MVA Fund offices in Babani.
The last 32 Ingonyama Cup draw has been conducted, which also marked the first involvement of Premier League teams in this year's competition. Prior to the draw, representing the tournament chairperson was His Royal Highness Prince Bukosi, who delivered a message from His Majesty King Mswati III.
Ithi kunene isolo ifisela inhlanhla lomsebenzi ukuthi ube impumelelo uhambe kahle ungaphinyabetwa lutho endleleni ngala lamafisha bekunene ithi de asibeke lawo magama ayethe.
Other speakers included National Football Association President Peter Simerane, Chairman of the Premier League of Eswatini, Polycarp Dlamini, and the title sponsor, who encouraged teams to showcase the best behavior in the field of play ahead of the tournament that begins this coming weekend. In some of the tricky draws, there is a Shisereni derby between All Nations against Rangers, while in Hoho, there is Pick Rangers against Marandi Chiefs. At defending champions, the Green Mamba will play Masunvini Royal Swallows, while Bobo Flyers will play Royal Leopard. Babane Swallows will play Lutse Killers, with Mbabane Highlanders facing Rosita Spurs. At the champions, we get 1,450,000 Emarangeni. To the women category, the champions will walk away with 20,000 Emarangeni, while regional level, the champions will walk away with 42,500 Emarangeni. On another note, the much anticipated situation of Mazini Wanderers saw them not being involved in the competition, as they were not seeded with the rest of the 31 teams. Chief Executive Officer of the Premier League of Eswatini, Pet Viragati, explained the situation as a very serious one, where they have to respect court rules by not involving the team. On the other hand, General Manager for the club, who was present at the draw, Jawrani Dlamini, says they are still shocked for not being involved in this year's competition, and they are yet to take legal routes on the matter. The absence of Wanderers leave a standby position for Sisonke FC, and will have to wait for an opponent. For Swatini TV Sports, Fabiso Msondera, Mbabane.
Right, and just like that, we reach the home stretch of the news at 10 at Eswatini Television. Before we go, here's a quick reminder of your top stories tonight. The Minister of Education, the Honorable Owen Nxumalo, has revealed that the government is working diligently to repair schools damaged by recent flash floods. The Ministry of Tourism has held a meeting to discuss appropriate standards to be implemented in the nuclear radiation bill. And the Minister for Tinkhundla Sikhumbuzo Dlamini has officially handed over a trailer, a ton reaper, 20-disc harrow and a TLB worth over 3.5 million Malangeni at Mhlume constituency to 3 different organizations. Right, and just like that, we come to the conclusion of the news at 10 at Eswatini Television. Thank you so much for choosing to stay with us. It's been a pleasure. Up next, we cross over to the Weather Center for a detailed weather report from us and the team at Eswatini Television. For now, it is good night. God bless.
Welcome to the ultimate guide to your weekend entertainment. Get ready to groove with us as we bring you the hottest music videos and exclusive interviews with your favorite celebrities. Experience fresh music videos from new releases, underground sensations, and emerging talent. Whether you're hip-hop, amapiano, or Afro, we've got something for everyone. And if you've missed out on any of the excitement, don't worry, we've got you covered. Join us for an electrifying journey through the music scene. Relive the magic and get inspired for your next weekend adventure.
You got me stuck on you. Agusafumi, agufumi tule. Bizinyati buta, bizinyati penya, bonke kwami kyakalela.
So tune into This Week at Eswatini for a weekly dose of music, entertainment, and unforgettable experience. Get ready to groove because the weekend starts here.
You got me stuck on you. Come on, it's a simple song. Sing with me. Say, you got me stuck on you.
You get people being in a job for like 10 years.